Hey everybody, what is going on? As far as going on in the workshop, not a whole lot this week. At least it doesn't feel like I did a whole lot. I've actually done quite a bit. I've been working on the cockpit area of both of the flying wing bombers, and that has taken a lot of time. I normally work in 48th scale when it comes to aircraft, but with a bigger aircraft like these bombers, 48th would be really big, so they're 72nd scale. And the drawback for me with 72nd scale is that interior pieces are just so tiny. And none of the consoles in the cockpit have decals for them anyway, so everything's hand painted. And I didn't even follow the instructions exactly the way they describe it being done. The instrument panels are flat black, but then the gauge faces are supposed to be a gloss black, but the pointers, numbers, whatever's on those faces is supposed to be white. Well, that detail doesn't even exist on these parts. There is no gauge face detail. So what I ended up doing was just using some clear gloss and putting a little dot of that on each gauge face so that at least it has that crystal look. And the other thing is, even though this has the windshield is part of the leading edge of the wing on the one side, and then it's got a bubble canopy, you're never going to see these details. Why do we do it? I guess, I don't know. We do it because we enjoy it, right? And if you don't do it, then somebody will notice. So you got to do it. Anyhow, I did get a few items this week that I'll show you. I picked up my paints. I'm going to do all-clad aluminum on the outside, but I picked up 4 different all-clad aluminums. So the first one is just basic aluminum 101. And that's, that's a good aluminum color, I think. The second one is duraluminum, which, I don't know, I thought, well, I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't think there were any differences, so it's a little bit darker. And that's Alclad 102. And then the third one is actually dark aluminum. That is Alclad 103. And you can see it is quite a bit darker. And the last one that I picked up is white aluminum. And it's Alclad 106. Now, the difference between regular aluminum and, say, the white aluminum, that is, this is the regular aluminum. This is the white aluminum. So you can see there is a bit of a color difference there. Very slight, but it is there. This one's not fully mixed. There. There's just a little bit of difference there. Aluminum and duraluminum. So let's put these two up side by side. All right, this is aluminum on my right, and this is the duraluminum. You can see it's just a shade darker. All right, so let me put the aluminum one down, and we'll put the the dark aluminum next to the duraluminum. So you can see that the dark is even a shade darker still than the duraluminum. So that should give me a good break in the aluminum color, so different panels will stand out. Because if you did the whole wing in just one flat aluminum color, it just wouldn't look, it'd look toyish, right? So reference photos show that there were many panels that had a different shade to them. So this is going to work out good. And let me tell you though, I bought this at my local hobby shop, Hobbytown, USA, and it's not cheap. All right. So for those, I've had the gloss black undercoating for it, and I have their aqua gloss for it. So yeah. But most of this week was just putting primer on all the cockpit pieces and then painting those pieces. I spent a good 4 hours probably just hand painting the instrument panels and the seats. So let me get the camera down here. Give me just a second and I'll show you the progress we've made so far. All right, hold on. I've got it in kind of a jig here using 1, 2, 3 blocks because the walls of the cockpit attached to the cockpit floor at the very bottom. There's no tabs or locks. It's simply a butt joint with glue, and they wanted to kind of flex out. So they're being held in place with the 1, 2, 3 blocks, just enough weight to keep everything together. But you can see there's not too bad interior on it. And that is accurate, actually. These aircraft, because they were a pre-production aircraft, they did not use any zinc chromate on the aluminum. So the interior of the cockpit was all basic aluminum. The instrument panels were a flat black. And, of course, I talked about the gauges. The seats, they did not have ejection seats then. These are just regular seats with red cushions. The navigator, engineer, and I'm not sure what that third seat is in the back. Those guys actually had armrests on theirs. The one here towards the middle. All right, this is the periscope for the gunner. All right, and he had just a simple seat. And over here next to the co-pilot seat, that's actually a lying down position where on this side of the wing at the leading edge is where that clear leading edge is. So you could lay down in that position and look out the front of the aircraft. Kind of interesting. All right. And then this is the tail gunner's position. And it was all remotely operated, kind of like the B-29s were during World War II. A little bit different design from those, but similar in the fact that they were remotely controlled for the guns. That's what I've been doing most of this week. It's Monday afternoon, the 21st of October. I am going to Cartersville, Georgia next weekend for the Acme Southern Nationals Model Car Contest show. And I've got a few things I need to touch up and square away on a few of the cars that I'm taking with me, as well as the diorama will be going with me. So I'm going to work on those a few nights this week before I leave. I took Friday and Saturday off because those are days I would normally work. And then I have Sunday, Monday off normally. So it's a 4-day weekend for me. I'll be driving up on Friday, staying the night, Friday and Saturday night, and driving home on Sunday so that I have Monday to rest a little bit before going back to work. So I probably won't have much content to produce for you next week, other than we'll probably do a slideshow of photographs from Acme. We'll see. Anyway, y'all have a good week. Peace and love.